Support for Pop of Culture comes from Stallings Wealth Management. Daniel Stallings, financial advisor. Securities and advisory services offered through Cetera Advisors, LLC. Member FINRA/SIPC, a broker/dealer, and registered investment advisor. Cetera is under separate ownership from any other named entity.
This week on Pop of Culture, we head to the kitchen. Chef Jason Reynolds cooks for us and explains how his catering team manages hundreds of events a year.
We'll also learn more about the IndyFringe Festival.
And we'll explode into the world of comics with writer and comic store owner Christina Blanch.
All that coming up.
Support for Pop of Culture comes from Stallings Wealth Management and from you. You know that IPR is now operating without state or federal funding, and your response in this past year has been incredible. Local arts and culture programming like Pop of Culture only continues with your support. If you've been with us from the start, thank you. And if you've started listening recently, or if you enjoy this program for free, we need you. Protect local programming with a sustaining membership at indianapublicradio.org. And thanks.
From Indiana Public Radio, this is Pop of Culture, a show about arts and culture right here in East Central Indiana. I'm Michelle Kinsey.
And I'm Kara DuQuette. Earlier this summer, we sat down with a local chef to learn more about that career. But a chef is at home in the kitchen, so we followed him to his workplace and cooked up this audio postcard. Chef Jason Reynolds is originally from Muncie and is an award-winning culinary artist, currently serving as the director of university catering at Ball State University. He earned a culinary arts degree from Vincennes University and traveled to Western France on a culinary education tour. Thank you so much for joining us today, Jason.
Thank you, Kara. Thanks for having me.
Of course. I'm curious to know when you knew you wanted to be a chef.
My gosh, I get this question all the time, but it's great. I love the background story of this. Early on in my childhood years, my mom, my grandmother, all great cooks. And so they did everything from scratch then. So every time we have family get-togethers, my grandmother would cook everything and from scratch. And of course it was good. In the 7th grade, I determined I wanted to be a chef. So in middle school or junior high, I decided to start taking the foods classes. And in those foods classes, it was all girls, of course. And I was the only guy. My friends made fun of me. But, I determined that I still wanted to be a chef. So I said, what was better than being in a class with all girls and being able to eat, So that was fun. But no, through high school, I took all the foods classes I could take. And then an advisor at my high school helped me determine where to go to culinary school. And then I began my journey.
I can't remember if his office was on the left or right. This looks kitchen-y. There he is.
Hey, Kara.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to our neck of the woods.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, now, was it always easy for you to cook? I mean, did you pick up a lot of things from your family?
Oh, sure. The basics.
Well, were there certain guides or principles or things that they handed down to you that you find yourself adhering to or moving away from now?
Not necessarily. I think a lot of it was about flavors.
Yeah, the way it shapes your cooking?
Yes. Just the way the things, they better taste good. You're just not cooking to cook to eat. You're cooking because it's pleasurable. It just got to taste good.
Well, what are you going to make today? What are we going to make today?
No, tell me. What do you want me to make? I didn't have a plan. I don't know.
That's good. Do you usually have a plan? I do want to know that.
Well, in catering we do. But today I don't. Let's see.
We are following Chef Jason into a door. Chef, where did you just go?
Oh, right into the walk-in to look at what we have available to prepare.
Are we allowed to walk in here?
Sure, come on.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, nice and chilly.
Yes.
Ooh.
Feels good. So look here. I've got some fresh spinach and some cabbage. And we even have some cooked chicken. I thought about doing a quick, maybe a wilted salad, summer salad, but wilted, which would be sauteed just slightly, still have a crunch to it, and then we'll top it with some of the chicken and a little dressing or something. How about that?
That sounds fabulous.
Sound good?
That sounds good. Can we put some tiny tomatoes in it too?
Tiny tomatoes, sure, why not? With some heirloom tomatoes?
Awesome.
Let's do that. Let me actually get. Hey, Cole, I'm going to use a little bit of that spinach and cabbage. Is that okay? In there?
Of course.
And that
Yeah.
chicken?
It's not dinner from today.
That's what I thought. Okay, cool.
Yes.
Awesome. All right.
Thanks, Cole. You were talking about how flavors work together. You know, some people say, oh, also eat with your eyes. Do you feel that way about presentation?
Yes.
Okay, so can you draw us a picture of a plate, for instance?
Sure. So, well, in the catering aspect, I tell everybody you eat and you use all your senses. You see it, you smell it, you hear it sometimes, and then you taste it. And it's all aspects of the senses that you use. When I create something, it has to all flow together. Does that make sense?
It makes total sense.
I'm going to put a little bit of vegetable oil in the pan.
Now, did you know it would be heated up to pretty much where you wanted it by the time you came back?
Yeah, kind of, but then the oil, I could have put it in cold.
Oh.
And then I'm waiting for the pan to heat up before I add the food product. If you add the food product in cold, it's just going to steam it.
Ah.
So you want the pan to be hot. So then that way you're caramelizing the sugars in the food product. And that's what the brownness of all food products, the meats, vegetables, it's the sugars coming out of that product that browns in the pan. And we're going to first start off, we're going to build this up. So I'm going to start off with the spinach. I know it's going to wilt quickly, but I just want to wilt it, and that's going to be my base and on my bowl. This is going to pop. I'm going to let you know it's going to pop, so be careful. Maybe a little bit, because it's the water content of the spinach that's coming out. So you just slightly want the heat to hit this. So I'm going to stop that and put it in my bowl. And go into slow mix now. I'm going to let it cook just a little longer.
I've never seen anybody actually toss food like that in the pan. That's awesome.
This is what you learn in culinary school.
I'm inspired. I may try that.
Hear that sizzle? You see how the paprika has kind of changed the color of a little bit as it cooks? That's the flavors starting to come out, the caramelization of the sugars.
So you're layering this seasoning in the pan, and then you're actually layering the items on the plate.
Yes.
Nice.
Last thing is I'm not going to put any oil in the pan this time because the chicken thighs already have fat that I want it to caramelize and get that brownness to it really quick. So I'm going to just add it to the pan the way it is. And one last thing I'm going to do, because Kara wanted the tomatoes. And all I'm going to do is blister these tomatoes. I'm not going to cook them, I'm going to blister them. Which means I'm just going to give them a little bit of, it's a nice hot pan right now. It's going to sizzle really good.
Woo!
Because of the...
Opa!
Yes. So...
Okay, that's a fire.
Yes, we're getting some flames. See how I'm just blistering those real quick?
Wow.
That's it. Just as a garnish on the plate.
I won't be doing that at home.
So we're just going to pour those over top. Look at that. That's nice. And then we're going to come back with, like I said, the John Tom's barbecue sauce. It was going to bring this whole thing together. We're just going to lightly go over this. We don't want it to overpower. And voila, you got a nice summer wilted salad, barbecue salad. How about that?
Beautiful. Well, thank
Good.
you, Chef. That looks
Yeah,
great.
You're welcome. Yeah, my pleasure.
Very colorful.
I'm very passionate and love what I do. You know, I love my job. I love coming to work every day. As a chef, there's long hours, but that's,
Sure.
you know, that's what it's about. But I love the hospitality, the camaraderie, the social aspect of it all, and just being able to create something different every day and present it to somebody. And I love seeing people wowed.
Now, I have to ask you about that. You say create something different every day. What do you mean in terms of that? Because I know one of the things that's really important about food and food service is consistency. So how do you get that variety within the consistency?
So we do a lot of the similar things for a lot of different departments on campus, like a Tex-Mex buffet or something. It's got to be consistent each time. You know, it's got to, people remember those things. Oh, I want to order that. Well, then should be consistent in that aspect. But when I develop menus for like served dinners for the president's office or whatever it may be, we try to make it different each time. So it's not the same meal.
Like we did with these ingredients we created a wrap with today. then I created this salad with that, as well. So the staff's very creative, and allow them to be, and it's a collaboration really, and with my guidance of thinking what's going to go together.
So that keeps my mind very turning quite a bit, which is I love, because I love coming up with something new and what's the next level to go to.
Dig in, have a taste. And like I said, you want to eat a little bit of everything together. Oh yeah.
Very good.
Salt's still kind of crunchy. Got a little kick in there from the black pepper, the smokiness of the smoked paprika plus the barbecue sauce. Blends it all together. And you add the summer treat in there of the heirloom tomatoes, it's good.
Fabulous.
Love it. Yeah, it's great.
I love the crunch of the slaw that you retained.
Yeah.
I can really taste the layers,
You can?
Yeah, it's like, it's interesting because I've had you made a stir fry, like you said.
Yeah.
It just wouldn't have the same
It's all
vibe.
blended together, right?
The mixing that happens in your mouth versus the mixing in the
Right.
pan.
It is different.
Well, that's pretty great. It sounds like you do have a lot of fun with your compositions.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I wouldn't have it any other way. I think I don't know what else I would do in my life if I wasn't doing this.
Oh, well, then that sounds like you found your passion.
I did. I love what I do.
We just stepped out of the catering kitchen on Ball State University's campus and Neuer Complex, and now we're headed back to the IPR studios, and Pop of Culture will be back in just a minute from IPR.
This is Pop of Culture. I'm Michelle Kinsey.
I'm Kara DuQuette.
And I'm Jen Blackmer. Perhaps you've heard of a fringe festival. Fringe festivals have been around for decades, and maybe you know that there is a fringe festival fairly close to us here in East Central Indiana, down in Indianapolis. It's called the IndyFringe Festival, and we're having a conversation today about what a fringe festival is and how to do a fringe festival. We're really pleased to have Paul Daly with us here on the show. Paul is the executive director of IF Theater in Indianapolis, home of the IndyFringe Festival. Hello, Paul. Welcome to Pop of Culture.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me on.
Oh, you bet. And very excited to talk to you about this today. If it's summertime, generally speaking, that means it's fringe time. Is that correct?
That's what I say.
Awesome. Well, tell us a little bit about your work, Paul, who you are, and just a little bit about IF Theater.
Yeah, absolutely. So IF Theater is kind of a training ground for artists in Indianapolis, and we do that with all of our programming across the year. My job is really to be the face of the organization, to be the person connecting with the community. But I will say there's only 2 full-time staff members, so the 2 of us do a little bit of everything every day.
Which that's very true for so many arts organizations, and especially the theater. Yeah.
Yes.
So IF Theater, IF, that's IndyFringe, right?
Yes, IndyFringe. So we started 21 years ago simply as the IndyFringe Festival, and over the course of those 21 years have grown. And we own our own space with 2 performance spaces in it. In fact, when I started, I went around the community asking people, what do you think of IndyFringe? And the answer always, because when I started, we were just IndyFringe. Whether we were talking about the festival or our physical space, we were IndyFringe. And in talking to people, either they would just start telling me how great the festival was, which I love to hear, or they would go, well, do you mean the theater or the festival? And it was clear we didn't have a good way of talking about our year-round operations versus the festival itself.
Yeah.
And so we recently rebranded to IF Theater so that people had a way of talking about what we were doing the rest of the year.
Now, our listeners may be familiar with kind of what I'll call the flagship Fringe Festival, which is in Edinburgh, Scotland. Yes?
Yes.
Yeah. And so how are the various fringe festivals that we might see over here connected to Edinburgh, or are they? Are they their own entities, or is there a connection?
They are connected by philosophy, I would say. There are lots of different ways to do a fringe festival, but they're all built on that that beginning in Edinburgh. And for those who don't know, do you mind if I go into a little history lesson?
Absolutely, yes.
Great. So after World War II, the world was looking to heal, and Edinburgh thought that they would invite some artists to Edinburgh to perform for the world and use art to help heal.
Mm-hmm.
And so during those performances, the Edinburgh local performance groups performed on the Fringe of Edinburgh. Open performances, yes, this idea that everybody should have the platform for their voice. And that notion has carried through to all Fringe festivals. We're all looking for a way that everybody has the opportunity to perform if they feel they have something to say.
The artists actually own their piece, right? They actually produce it themselves. Can you go into that a little bit more?
Every performance has to be between 45 minutes and 60 minutes. So that way, everybody who comes to see a show knows that it will be done within an hour. And then there's a half an hour before the next performance. It also means that their set pieces, their props have to be really minimal to get that done in that short amount of time. And that is a very particular type of product that is very different than the typical product that we think of that theater is. Like when you go to the IRT and see a piece of work, that is time where they're able to be in the space for a month at a time, and they can build a large set and have exciting lights and other effects. Now, each artist owns their show, and it's essentially the modern day vaudeville. They can take their show on the Fringe circuit and perform around the world at Fringe. There's Fringe festivals all across the world, hundreds of Fringe festivals.
Right, and it's on an application process, yes?
It is. Now, that's one of the places that each Fringe festival differs a little bit. For instance, we do a lottery. So anybody that applies can be picked by lottery. Some people are first come, first serve. Some are by invitation only. It depends on the festival itself.
Yeah, and as artistic director, you're sort of or executive director, you're sort of curating a festival of offerings, right? So you've got different kinds of things, different kinds of shows, and you also produce in venues all over the city, correct?
Yes, one of the things that makes us unique is that we are a very walkable festival, which is not common for Fringe festivals. All of our venues are on Mass Ave, and we have 6 different venues that we perform in. Really, a selling point for us is that it is all within 0.7 of a mile. So easy to walk, get to restaurants, grab a bite in between shows.
Yeah. Well, and most of the Fringe experiences that I've had, and I've had many, both as an artist and as a patron, have been extended experiences, right? You can actually have a day, 2 days, a weekend. You can go down, every day for the entire festival and see something different, right?
Absolutely. And that's one of the things that we really try to do. So one of the changes I made when I first came in, the first year I was here, the festival had a lot of improv shows, and I love improv shows. I just saw a lot of them during the festival, and I thought I wanted more of a mix, more to see lots of different types of performance, lots of different genres. And so we still do a lottery, but now we say if we get 5 shows within a particular genre, that genre is closed. And we move on to polling for other genres. And that way you get a wide mix. Like you say, you can see all kinds of things. Last year, I saw 43 different performances over the 11 days. Over the weekend, on a Saturday, you can see 6 or 7 different shows. We curate shows or curate experiences for people. So if they let us know, look, I want to see all comedies, we'll work with them to create a day of seeing comedies. We work with high schools to get high school students in to see a wide range that would influence their work as they grow as artists, that sort of thing.
The thing I love about it, there are many things I love about a Fringe, but the thing I think I love most is that the vast majority of it is new. And it's you see new pieces, you see new monologues, you can see improv shows, but it's all sort of artist driven. Yeah.
Absolutely. One of the most exciting pieces is to hear the artists talking after they see a show and go, I never even thought of doing that. I can't wait to see what I do in my next show.
Yeah, awesome. So for our listeners who have never been to a Fringe Festival, but might be listening and thinking, it sounds like a fun way to spend a day or an afternoon, what do you suggest? How do you fringe?
Yes. So I think the best way to do it is to get our Flex Pass, and that is 6 shows for the cost of 5. You can go see 6 different shows, or you could go to 3 shows with your friend. So you're using 2 for each show. You can bring your 5 closest friends with you to 1 show for that for that pass. But I think you get that pass, you come down on a Saturday, you park early on Mass Ave at a garage, and then you take the day. Like I said, it's a walking experience. You have restaurants all around, bars. We have a cantina set up outside of the theater, and you plan in advance the shows you want to see. Take the time to look through all our offerings. If it gets overwhelming, and I know it can, feel free to reach out to us. We'll help you figure out what may be your best day. And then you make that day happen.
Excellent. And I know that you have partnerships with merchants and restaurants in the area, yes?
We do. We have a few places that kind of offer quick meals so that they know you have that half an hour. They get you in and out quickly. And that's a good way to do it.
That's excellent. How many shows altogether? And I know that this is an estimate because you're still in the planning phases as we have this conversation, but how many shows are there in the planning process for this season?
Right now, we're looking at 62 different acts, and there will be 285 performances total. Now, that's for the shows in the festival. And something I haven't even started to talk about is that we also hire buskers to perform. And those are free performances that are in the grassy area across from the district, right there on Mass Ave. And we're also doing a kids zone. So some of our artists have shows that are kid-friendly that they will present right outside of IF Theater to bring kids to. What I've heard is people said that they discovered the Fringe Festival in their late teens, early 20s, now have their own kids and want to bring their kids back to this experience that they love, but that we don't always have family offerings. And so this is our way of making sure those people can bring their kids back to introduce their children to the joys of the Fringe Festival.
I love that. And it's such a festival. I mean, obviously it's in the title, but it's a festive way to appreciate live performance and theater and improv and all of these amazing artists who, some of whom call Indianapolis home, but then others come in from other states, right? You talked about the Fringe Festival circuit.
Yes. And that's what's really exciting is that you get to see this artwork from around the world. We consistently have performance groups from outside of the U.S. that come to our festival. In fact, something that we should consider and keep in mind that right in our backyard here in Indianapolis, our Fringe Festival is in the top 5 in the U.S. and in the top 15 in the world. So we draw from around the world for people to come to this festival. And then we just get to go right down Mass Ave and see these wonderful artists and experience their work.
Yeah. And how is that metric determined, Paul? Is that through audiences, people who come, just sheer numbers?
For those two, yes, it is simply how many people attend. That's where we get that metric from. We also can say that we're the largest performing arts festival in Indiana, and that number is specifically from artists served. We consistently serve over 500 artists in the IndyFringe Festival.
Oh, I love that. That's excellent. What's the most difficult part of putting on this festival?
I mean, it's simply logistics, getting 62 acts scheduled and coordinated, making sure they get adequate tech time, making sure that communication happens. It's mammoth.
I can imagine.
Well worth it, but that is a lot of work. And, we start pretty much the day after the festival closes working on next year's festival.
Well, Paul, I'm so excited about this year's festival. If folks want to find out what's in the lineup this year, where can they get that information?
IndyFringe.org.
Amazing. Well, Paul Daly, what a pleasure it's been talking to you. He is Executive Director of IF Theater in Indianapolis, the home of the IndyFringe Festival.
Thank you again for talking with me. I have really enjoyed it, and I can't wait to see you at the festival.
We've talked to multiple comic strip creators on the show before, but we haven't spoken to someone who writes comic books.
Christy Blanch is a comic book writer and the owner of Aw Yeah Comics in downtown Muncie. Here's some of her conversation with our co-host, Jen Blackmer.
You are a comic book writer, so tell our audience what that means.
It means I don't like money. No, just kidding. I mean, I don't. Comic book writer means that I write comics. I write the words of a story. I come up with the story. I write the story, and then I send it off to an artist, and it becomes our story then, just not mine. Mm-hmm. And we create a beautiful story. It's this beautiful marriage of words and pictures, and it's great. And then we have words put in, and then it gets printed and distributed somehow.
Absolutely. So what determines, in your mind, whether a story is effective in this form? Right, because there's such a visual component to it, and you follow sort of the way the pictures and the images evolve along with the dialogue and the story. How do you determine if it's a good comic story?
Like one that I'm writing or one that I'm reading?
One thing, as a writer.
Okay. As a writer, I have to be able, I'm a very visual learner. Mm-hmm. So if I can see something, then, and it sticks with me and I can't shake it, I know this is going to be a good story. But the story still, I mean, just because it's a comic, you can't depend on one or the other. It really is a merging of two mm-hmm. worlds. And mm-hmm. you really don't want, it's like somebody sitting at a desk and go, I was sitting at my desk.
Right.
I was hungry.
That's not an exciting photo, right?
And went for a
photo. Yeah, that's not an exciting image.
And went for a bite to eat, and it shows it something. You want them to complement each other. So, for example, when I wrote The Damnation of Charlie Wormwood with my friend Chris, we both taught at Ball State. Mm-hmm. That's how we met. And we had a wonderful artist, Chi Ong. And sometimes after I'd send a script and get everything back, I'd say, we don't even need words in this. Right. He's already said with words everything I needed to say. Yeah. So you just don't want that redundancy. Sometimes the art can take you out of a story. Sometimes the story can take you out of it. So even the lettering and coloring can take you out. If the lettering is really, really small for people like me who I have to get my glasses out to read it, it's like, and I still can't see it and I'm struggling, then you don't lose yourself in the story. Mm-hmm. Every so often I'm surprised sometimes. I was reading, Image and Skybound got the Universal Monsters.
Okay, for our audience who is not comic literate, what does that mean?
So the publisher Image, they publish things like Invincible and Walking Dead that have become huge hits on television.
Okay, sure, yeah.
It's just like they can do no wrong right now. They got the license for the Universal Monsters, the Frankenstein, the Frankenstein we know, the Dracula, the Bela Lugosi that we know. So they got all of those. And Frankenstein's coming out. And I was like, seriously, what are they going to do with Frankenstein? I mean, I love Frankenstein.
Yeah.
I've read it. I love the Guillermo del Toro one that just came out because it's Bernie Wrightson inspired, who's my favorite artist, and all of this. And I was like, we'll see if this works, you know. So we get them in, and I try and read all of the new #1 comics when they come out so I can talk to people about them. And I'm reading Frankenstein, and it blew me away because of this, not just the story, but the art and the use of the medium. And it made me fall in love with comics all over again. And I immediately went and ordered more.
I love that.
And I think about the book and it makes me happy. It's it's one of the most wonderful things. And I would tell people, you've got to get this. And
I love
just
how
so good.
So the idea here is that you can take a story that is incredibly familiar, right? Like Frankenstein. And I've read multiple iterations and seen multiple versions of it, and a new art style and a new storytelling style and a new sort of combination of those two can make you fall in love with it again.
Yeah, absolutely. And it just had to do with everything. In comics, the page turn is something that makes it different from every other medium, because you have one chance every 2 pages to surprise the reader. So when you turn the page, it can be or it can be oh, that transition's good.
You're listening to my conversation with Christy Blanch. She's a comic book writer and the owner of Aw Yeah Comics in Muncie. As part of running that store, she started Muncie Comic Con along with Jeff Torres. We asked her about that experience.
I have so much respect for people that run conventions, because it does not matter how well you plan, something is going to go wrong.
Of course.
So, first you have to find a place and the date, which is not as easy as people think it is. And then you have to start inviting people. You have to make sure they have hotel rooms. You have to do the flights. You have to have people to pick them up from the flights, and have room in their cars. I have a Prius, so that doesn't work because they're all bringing their big bags. And you have to have the dinners. You have to have the food. You have to say, okay, we're going to be taking them here. We're going to be taking them there. You have to make sure people can get to the convention. Everybody always wants to come see the shop. So we went next door to Aw Yeah Comics, is the new little party place, The Vault. So they sponsored us, and we had an event over there so that people could eat and relax, and then come over and they could walk through our shop and see things and see their books on the shelves, which is always fun.
And that's kind of the behind the scenes stuff that you don't think about, right? And for those who have never been to a comic convention, the ones I've been to have sort of large scale events, right? Which are panels or talkbacks about a comic or a show or something like that. And then you have vendors who are selling art and selling books, and then you have the opportunity to meet people and get stuff signed. So it really is a multifaceted event. There's a lot of different things that you do.
Yeah, we're learning every year. I didn't know the very first year we put the show on. A friend of mine talked me into doing it, Mike, and I'm always like, you did this to me. And then it was a couple days before the show was supposed to happen. He was going to fly out. He got COVID, so he couldn't come. And I was like, but I don't know what I'm doing.
So if it can go wrong, it will, right?
So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to fake it like I know what I'm doing. And and I was in touch with him, before and after. He was like, I never thought of doing like a little costume parade. I never thought that's a great,
Yeah.
It's like, it was improv. So we try to keep it very comic book focused because that's what I love. So I want Muncie to be able to have something that they can go and do and look forward to and love. I mean, there are plenty of things, but, for comic book people, I know growing up as a female that I ate, lived, breathed, everything, comic books and Star Wars. Star Wars was my thing. I mean, I had my tube socks with Chewbacca on them, and, everything I had was Star Wars. I saved my money just so I could buy Star Wars stuff. It was, I don't know how my mother made it through. Well, I do, because I made it through my children, but I'm like, I encouraged it. so I wasn't, it's like people made fun of me, and it wasn't like the thing. Being a nerd,
Absolutely,
was
being a
not
nerd
cool
was
then.
not cool when we were younger.
I mean, sometimes I think maybe I kind of deserved it. I did start a Flash Gordon fan club in 5th grade, made the little membership cards and all of that, and we would meet. There were 3 of us, but I got to tell Sam Jones when I moderated a panel with him. I got to tell him that story, and it was such kind of a great way to come back to yes, it's okay.
A wonderful through
Look where
line,
I am
yes.
now, all you people that made fun of me.
Christy Blanch is the owner of Aw Yeah Comics in Muncie. She's also a comic book writer.
This isn't the last time you'll hear from her on this season of Pop of Culture.
I'm Kara DuQuette.
And I'm Michelle Kinsey. The Muncie 3 Trails music series is already underway. 2 great shows have happened already. But you know what? There's more to come. Plenty of shows still to see. And here to talk about it is Rick Ziegler. No stranger to Pop of Culture. Love when you come in and tell us about the Muncie 3 Trails music series, Rick. So thanks again.
Well, thanks for having me again.
Well, so we've got one coming up very soon, actually tomorrow. So tell us a little bit about that show.
Well, the show on Saturday, August 8th, features Christina Blanch. And she is a great live performer, great music. The unique thing about her is that she plays blues, but also bluegrass adjacent music. So she plays electric guitar, blues, but then she'll pull out the clawhammer banjo and go into bluegrass. And that makes for a great show.
Yeah,
I mean,
it does.
it's so varied, great voice.
Yeah.
So really looking forward to that.
Do you want to lose? Keep on living. Do you want to lose? But you've been given. Well, you gotta make it out on your own.
So in the sea of acts that you look at, Rick, when you're thinking about who's going to come to Muncie, who's going to be a part of the Muncie 3 Trails music series, what was it about her? Because this is her first time
Yes.
here, right?
Yeah.
What was it about her that stood out that you were like, oh yeah, yep, she definitely needs to play in Muncie?
Well, in general, the way I go about picking out the acts is I pay attention to the music press, see who's coming up.
Yes.
I look at awards and nominations like for Grammys and things like that. And if there's names that are unfamiliar to me, I'll write them down. And then I'll go check out their latest album.
Yeah.
That's the first thing, because we only book bands that are right now creating new music. They're still in the creative process.
Love that.
We don't do the oldies bands, tribute bands. Those are fine.
Yes.
That's just not what the Muncie 3 Trails music series does.
Right.
So if I like their latest album, I'll then go and look at some videos of live, because I want to make sure that these people are good live performers.
Yeah.
Because some bands I'll really like, but then I'll look at them and I'll say, well, they're more attuned to an intimate club rather than an
100%.
outdoor venue.
Yes.
So if I like their album, if I like what I see on the video, then I see if I like their price and can afford them.
Yeah.
And if I can, I'll book them.
Awesome. Okay, so who's next? Who's next on the list?
Okay. After that, we're having Return Engagement by the Lost Bayou Ramblers. They're from Louisiana. They've been here before. They are 2-time Grammy winners. They are very unique. They play traditional Cajun music. In fact, they're going to open their own show with a traditional
Love
Cajun
that.
set. But then when they play, they really infuse their music with not just the traditional Cajun elements, but sort of a punk rock and what I'll call psychedelic feel because their guitarist is amazing.
Yes.
So psychedelic Cajun, that's how I would describe it.
I mean, if that's not intriguing, I don't know what is. Yeah. All right.
I forgot to mention
Yes.
opening for Christina Blanch.
Oh, please, yes.
Lovesick Moan.
Yes.
Great local blues band.
Absolutely. So Lovesick Moan is going to open up for Christina. And then the next show,
Lost Bayou
they're doing
Ramblers,
their
which
own
will be at
thing.
the Brown Family Amphitheater.
All right. So then next show?
The next show on August 29th, also at the Brown Family Amphitheater, will also be a return visit by Flor de Toloache.
Vuelve a mis brazos, vuelve a bailar conmigo, vuelve pa' que el cariño no muera en el olvido, hasta que caiga el cielo, hasta que las piedras levanten vuelo, aquí yo te espero, que yo te espero una vida y otra más.
They're the all-female mariachi band from New York City. We've had them in twice before. One of their members is a Ball State graduate. I will say for this show, I do not have a local band because it's hard to find a local mariachi band. So from Cincinnati, not that far away, Estrada del Sol will open the show.
Nice. Very cool. And again, that is at Ball State's Brown Family Amphitheater. All right, next up.
Okay, our sixth concert of the series, which will be back at Cannon Commons in downtown Muncie, is on September 5th and will feature from Canada Blue Moon Marquee. They were supposed to come last year. The Air Canada strike nixed them out. They do jazz, swing, folk, blues. They mix it all together. I said, well, that sounds interesting. And I noticed that they won multiple Juno Awards, which is the Canadian equivalent of the Grammys, for their last album, Scream, Holler, and Howl. So I listened to the album. I said, this is great. I looked them up live. I said, these guys are great. So I'm really looking forward to that show.
Going down to the honky tonk. I'm gonna flip, I'm gonna flop. Honey, baby, look so fine. You're gonna make me lose my mind. I wanna have.
And Prairie Creek Sirens, local band, will open for them.
Yes, wonderful.
And then the final concert of the year, back at the Brown Family Amphitheater on Saturday, September 19th, will feature Mike Ferris and the Fortunate Few. Mike Ferris has won award. He's won Americana Association Awards. He's won Dove Music Awards for gospel, and he's won Grammy Awards. He's won them all.
What a slacker.
Yeah, he's got, his vocals are just great. Blue Eyed Soul, Mike Martin and the Beautiful Mess are going to open. And when I told Mike Martin that, I said, hey, would you like to open for Mike Ferris? And he goes, the Mike Ferris? And I said, yes, the Mike Ferris. So we have Mike Martin's endorsement.
So the two
for
Mikes
this
are playing.
concert as well.
Nice.
And the combination of like that sort of Muscle Shoals sound with the gospel influence, incredible.
Yeah, very, very nice. And all the shows start at the same time?
They all start, the openers go on at 7, headliners go on at 8, and you can find complete details about all the shows on our website, www.muncie3trails.com. We have video clips of all the artists, bios of all the artists. You can also, like us on Facebook, all that. Do all that stuff.
All that stuff. And what I love in having this information ahead of time is that people can go and listen and familiarize themselves with the music, or you could do what I do. And in a lot of cases, Rick, I like to show up and just be surprised. Like if I don't know much about an artist, I'm like, I'm gonna go and I'm just going to see what happens and just fully immerse myself in the experience. And a note, the Muncie 3 Trails series is an IPR underwriter.
I wish Margaret seen me now. She'd be so proud of me. We went down, swinging. We went down, swinging.
Hey, Michelle, you know what time it is?
Oh, I bet I do know.
I bet you do.
It's time for the arts calendar.
All right, let's get to it. Selma Bluebird Days is on through August 9th. The 4-day community event hosted by the Selma Lions Club includes carnival rides, live music, a beauty pageant, craft and food vendors, a parade, and more. But what? No bluebirds? It is Cardinal Country.
The Mudsock Fest is Friday through Sunday, August 7th through 9th at the Mystic Waters Campground in Pendleton. The annual fest brings together the power of music, the strength of community, and the promise of hope, with proceeds benefiting horse therapy for children with disabilities. The event includes performances by Obscene Sardines, Feeling Minnesota, Southern Accents, the Tom Petty Experience, and more. MudsockFest.com has your details.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory opens this weekend at Muncie Civic Theater. After finding a golden ticket, Charlie Bucket and the other winners will embark on a life-changing journey through Wonka's world of pure imagination.
You know that's in your head right now.
I've got a message for you. MuncieCivic.org has info.
1776, the musical, is on stage now at Richmond Civic Theater. 1776 is a Tony-winning musical that tells the story of the intense political struggles within the Second Continental Congress to declare independence from Britain. Show dates are August 7th through 9th and 13th through 16th. For more info, gorct.org is the place to go.
This is your last weekend to catch Tuck Everlasting at Anderson's Main Stage Theater. Tuck Everlasting follows young Winnie Foster as she discovers a mysterious family with a secret to eternal life.
Ooh.
This heartfelt story explores love, time, and the beauty of choosing a life that is fleeting but full. MainStageTheater.org has details.
UB40. Remember them. UB40
Yes.
will perform August 11th at the Gas City Performing Arts Center. The reggae band is behind such hits as Red Red Wine, I Can't Help Falling in Love with You, Kingston Town, and what a great cover they did of I Got You Babe, the Sonny and Cher hit. Love that one. The Gas City PAC.com has ticket info.
And the Anderson chapter of the Indiana Black Expo is having summer celebration through Sunday, August 9th at Jackson Park. There will be live bands, a parade, and a basketball tournament, and much more.
Let us know about your cool events. Go to indianapublicradio.org/contact, then click Pop of Culture.
Support for Pop of Culture comes from Stallings Wealth Management and from you. You know that IPR is now operating without state or federal funding, and your response in this past year has been incredible. Local arts and culture programming like Pop of Culture only continues with your support. If you've been with us from the start, thank you. And if you've started listening recently, or if you enjoy this program for free, we need you. Protect local programming with a sustaining membership at indianapublicradio.org. And thanks.
And that's our show. Our digital content god is August Wilde.
And our regular human producer is Luke Jones, who's super thrilled to be back from vacation. I'm sorry, I couldn't do it.
Look at him smiling.
I tried. I know, look at him.
We had production assistance from Andrew Monthavon.
Our show was hosted by me, Michelle Kinsey.
And me, Kara DuQuette. Pop of Culture is a production from IPR on the campus of Ball State University. This week on Pop of Culture, we head to the kitchen. Chef Jason Reynolds cooks us up. Okay.
Cooks us.
Cooks us.
And I'm tasty.
Which is delicious.